Welcome to George on Cars. Today, I've got an amazing video. I'm going to share 5 things that you need to do to your summer car before you put it away for winter, and 3 things that you don't. But before we get to the video, let me tell you a little bit about this month's charity of the month. And by the way, if you have any content that you want to see on the channel, send me an email at georgeoncars@gmail.com. This month's charity of the month is the Canadian Alzheimer Society. Since 1978, the Society has been the leading not-for-profit health organization working nationwide to improve the quality of life for Canadians affected by Alzheimer's and other dementias. The Society has been a leader in the search for the cause and the cure for Alzheimer's, and they are active in communities right across Canada. Now, in addition to the great research that they help fund, they also provide information, counseling, and support for people who live with Alzheimer's and their caregivers. So if you enjoy this video, click on the link in the show notes below and donate if you can. And check out their website, which is full of great information. I'm also going to add some links to some other great Alzheimer's charities if you'd rather donate to one of those instead. So let's see if we can give Alzheimer's the knockout punch. Thanks a lot for supporting these great charities, and I hope you enjoy the video. So it's that time of year where a lot of us are getting ready to put away our summer cars and get ready for the cold and snow that winter can bring. So I'm going to share with you 5 things that you need to do to your car before you store it away for winter, and a few things that you don't. So let's get to it. Now step 1, or the first thing that I like to do, is I like to change the oil and check my fluids. I change the oil just before I put the car away for winter with a good quality full synthetic motor oil, and that's what I have here. General Motors recommends on the LS1 motors, on the LS1 Corvette motors, that you use a Mobil 1 full synthetic oil. And when I bring the vehicle into the shop to have the oil changed, I make sure that this is what they use. I always like to change the oil before I store my car, as I don't want contaminants sitting in the oil pan all winter and gumming up my oil or making it sludgy. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to check my antifreeze and make sure that it's going to protect my car from freezing temperatures, especially if you don't store the vehicle inside a climate-controlled garage. So what I do is I have an antifreeze coolant tester here, and you can test it yourself, or if you don't have one of these, it's very easy just to ask the shop that does your oil change to check your antifreeze level for you. Now the last thing I like to check is I also want to make sure that if I've used summer washer fluid, that I switch it out with a winter washer fluid like I have here. Now the reason you want to do that is that summer washer fluid could freeze up inside your reservoir and crack your pump. And if that happens, you're just going to have an unnecessary repair. The second thing that I like to do is I like to fill the car with gas. On my way home from the oil change, I stop at a gas station that's close to my house, and I put the fuel stabilizer in the gas tank, and then I fill the gas tank full of gas. I like to do it that way because it allows the fuel stabilizer and the gas to mix together. Now filling the tank with gas prevents a few things. It prevents moisture from getting into the tank and causing corrosion, and that can end up plugging up your fuel filter and causing other problems. Also, moisture can cause your gas to break down and go bad quicker. Now, I also like to use a good quality fuel stabilizer, and Sta-Bil has been a product that's very well known in the car community and is very well respected, and it's not very expensive to buy. Now, a lot of people don't actually put in fuel stabilizer in their gas, and if you're only storing your car for a few months, you can probably get away with it. But for the most part, it's a cheap insurance policy against having bad gas and maybe running into problems down the road. Now the third thing that I like to do before I put the car away for the season is I like to wash the car inside and out. I make sure I give it a good wash on the outside to get off any dead bugs and road contaminants, and then I like to vacuum the inside and make sure that I remove any stains or ground in dirt, because I don't want those to sit there all winter long. Finally, when I close the car up for the last time, it's not a bad idea to put in an air freshener, as it just keeps the car smelling nice and fresh. Or if you think you have humidity or dampness problems, it's not a bad idea to get a moisture absorber. Now the fourth thing that I do is I put the battery on a battery maintainer. Now you can simply unplug the negative or the black terminal on the battery and just make sure it doesn't touch the red terminal under any circumstances. But I like to use a battery maintainer. Now the one I have here is from Canadian Tire, and it was relatively inexpensive and it's worked without issue. But I do recommend that you get a good quality battery maintainer like the Battery Tender brand or a C-Tech. Now the reason I like battery maintainers is they keep the battery charged at the right level, and you don't have to reset all of your radio stations and other data that's stored electronically on the car in the springtime. So after you've got your car all tucked away nice, the fifth and final step is to notify your insurance company. Maybe you could take collision insurance off your car and save yourself a few dollars. But if you do, make sure that you leave fire and theft on the vehicle just in case it gets stolen or your home catches fire. Also, if you store your vehicle off-site, make sure that your policy covers your vehicle even when it's stored off-site, because not all policies do. So those are the 5 things that you need to do before you store your car for the winter. Now here's 3 things that you don't need to do. You don't need to jack up your car to prevent the tires from flat spotting. Permanent flat spotting, especially in new tires, is rare, and it can be avoided for the most part by just increasing the tire pressure slightly on the tires before you put your car away for the winter. Also, there's no need to start the car every few weeks. And as a matter of fact, that can be detrimental because unless you heat the car up adequately, what happens is condensation is going to form in the exhaust and cause it to prematurely rust out. Also, don't leave the parking brake on. If you have a manual transmission on your car, put the car in gear or leave it in neutral and block the tires. And if you have an automatic transmission, just leave it in park. Well guys, that's it. Those are the 5 things you need to do to put your car away for the winter, and 3 things that you can skip. Thanks a lot for watching the video, and if you enjoyed it, hit like and subscribe. But more importantly, support the charity of the month if you can. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next video.